Raider Nation, what's going on? This is the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. I got a bunch of Raiders news for you, so let's get right into that. The Oakland Raiders have signed 3 tryout players. This is pretty awesome to see, and they are Texas running back Chris Warren. They are California PA tight end Paul Butler, Michigan fullback Henry Poggies. But let me tell you a little bit about these guys. They all participated in the team's rookie minicamp on a tryout basis. By the way, also, shout out to my dude, Paul Butler, representing that PSAC swag. So Butler, though, we'll get with him first. He participated in the Steelers' 2017 rookie minicamp on a tryout basis. He played in 33 games over 4 seasons in college, and he totaled 32 receptions for 381 yards and 5 touchdowns. Poggy played 4 years at Michigan, appearing in 44 games with 17 starts. He made 13 starts at fullback and 4 starts at tight end. He totaled 9 career receptions for 68 yards, 2 career rushing attempts for 6 yards and 1 touchdown. Warren played 3 years at Texas, appearing in 24 games with 9 starts, rushed for 1,150 career yards on 204 carries, averaging 5.6 yards per attempt, and recording 13 touchdowns. He also totaled 23 receptions for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. 3 new faces does, however, mean we must wave goodbye to 3 other players for the Raiders, which is my next news bit. The Oakland Raiders have waived 3 players, which is, of course, never good to see, but I like to believe that the Raiders are getting a little bit better. So let's meet those guys who unfortunately got waived. The Raiders waived North Carolina running back Elijah Hood, Northwestern Oklahoma State defensive lineman Joby St. Fleur, and Temple fullback Nick Sharga, who was actually a UDFA, unfortunately. But Hood had issues with ball control while taking training camp special teams reps in 2017 and lacked the fluidity and explosiveness that one would like to see from him as a back with such a smaller frame. Let's get into that last news bit I got for you guys for the Raiders. 3 Raiders graduated from college. This might be one of the coolest ones I've ever done here on the Raiders Report because, you know, graduating college is not that easy, and I understand going to the NFL is not too much easy either. But let's get into that one right quick. So, becoming a professional football player in the NFL is no easy task, and it's an accomplishment that takes years of hard work. There is no shortage of players who leave college early to achieve their dream of playing in the league, but it takes dedication to go back to college and get your degree, which a few members of the Oakland Raiders have done. Over the weekend, wide receiver Amari Cooper, offensive guard Gabe Jackson, and kicker Eddie Pinheiro walked and graduated from their respective colleges. Amari Cooper, Alabama, Roll Tide; Gabe Jackson, Mississippi State; Eddie Pinheiro, Florida. If anyone cares, I graduated from Centenary University, New Jersey. Shout out to my Cyclones. What up? Hey, guys. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365 so I get that nice little blue check mark. Remember to like Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports so you know exactly when I go live so you can get the news and rumors. We talk a lot of rumors on this show, so you need to understand my Raiders rumor scale. 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that, no chance of this one happening. 1 Chucky head, small shredded truth, 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking, 50-50 coin flip. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely, 75% chance. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby, 100% gonna happen. Let's get into the rumors now. Amari Cooper, is he headed for a breakout season in 2018? Guess who started this rumor? This guy right here. I'm giving this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Amari has been special, but he didn't really play all that great in 2017. In his first 2 seasons, he was great in Oakland, racking up at least 70 catches and 1,000 yards. Only 3 wide receivers in NFL history can say that they've accomplished that feat. In the year 3, which is normally known as the breakout year for wide receivers, Cooper struggled, hauling in only 48 catches for 680 yards and 7 touchdowns. Raiders head coach Jon Gruden has stated he wants Cooper to be the focal point of the offense, which should lead to a breakout season for the 23-year-old. But, guys, I want to know from you. Weigh in on this for me, please. Over or under 1,000 receiving yards for Amari Cooper in 2018. Throw it in the comments, YouTube, Facebook. Give me whatever you got. If you think it's over, under. You know me, I'm going over. Let's get into the next rumors, guys. Worst odds in the AFC West the Oakland Raiders have to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. But don't get mad at me. Get mad at Vegas for this one. So I understand Vegas may be the Raiders' new home, but don't expect them to cut the Raiders any slack. Today, the betting lines came out for who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. The AFC West overall didn't fare well, with the Raiders faring even worse among the division. Top odds for the division go to the Chargers at 11-1, then the Chiefs at 14-1, and the Broncos and Raiders bringing up the rear with 15-1 odds. Maybe you guys care, but the Patriots are the favorites at 9-4. But I don't know. The main reason why I wanted to even mention the Patriots on here so you guys could rip them a new one in the comments because you guys aren't afraid to do it to me, especially you guys on YouTube. You guys are ruthless, but I love it. Anyway, rip up those Patriots so I can show it to Harris. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get into the next rumor coming up on the board. Arden Key, is he worth the risk? This is a guy coming out of LSU who I really like. He's got that first-round talent. I'm giving this one 3 chalky heads, pretty likely. The Raiders were willing to take a chance on pass rusher Arden Key in the 3rd round, and they're hoping he's ready to play a role this year to take some of the pressure off veteran pass rushers Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin. Those two accounted for 18.5 of the team's 31 sacks and played 89% and 84% of the time, which respectively is very good, and it's going to make them tired. But Gruden asked, when Khalil got tired last year, who's the 3rd rusher? When Bruce got tired, who's the 3rd rusher? You've got to have at least 3 guys that can get after the quarterback because that's how you win games with 4 quarterback pass rush. You work 57 minutes to get a lead, and your 4th quarter pass rush has to close the door. So we think Key can be one of those guys at the end of the game. Key falls to the 3rd round has been well documented after a stint in rehab in college and the weight gain last year that kept him from looking like the same player in 2016. But he said he's back to 246 pounds and is ready to prove himself. Key had this to say, "Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back to my 2016 season. I got down, lost the weight, been getting in shape and things of that sort. And now it's time to put the pads on and show it." End quote. Arden is a gamble, but his skill set may be the key to unlock the Raiders' full potential on defense. Next Raiders rumor I got coming from up the board, Oakland will hold joint practices. I don't know if you guys remember that last time that this happened, but I'm giving this one 3 chalky heads, pretty likely. So it's been 4 years since the Raiders had joint training camp practices with another NFL team because back in 2014, they made their way down to Southern California to practice with the Dallas Cowboys, who was holding their camp in Oxnard. But again, like I said, if you remember, that practice resulted in quite a bit of a brawl on the sideline with a heavy Raider fan presence in the crowd. Well, with Jon Gruden back, he's looking to get back to that. Not the fighting, but the joint practices. Gruden had this to say about holding joint practices. We're trying to work that out. I don't have anything official yet to announce, but I've been in contact with a coach in the NFL, and we're going to try to work something out. We'll have some announcement hopefully in the coming weeks. To me, though, that sounds pretty promising. Though just this team would be facing is not yet known yet, we can narrow it down to a few possibilities. It would make sense for them to be potentially joining a practice with a California team or one of the teams that they'll face in the preseason. The California teams are the Niners, the Rams, Chargers, and like I said, the Cowboys, since their training camp is in Cali. The Raiders' preseason opponents are, in order, the Lions, Rams, Packers, and Seahawks. The odds are higher for the team to be on the preseason schedule. Next rumor coming up for the board, Oakland. Are they moving on from NaVorro Bowman? This guy's been on the show so often, and I really hope not, but I'm going to give this one 2 chalky heads. People are talking. So, with this one still up in the air and it's starting to look cloudy, last week the Raiders signed 35-year-old linebacker Derrick Johnson, formerly of the Chiefs. Johnson is a 4-time Pro Bowler that is 35 years old. He has spent his entire 13 NFL career in Kansas City. Reports prior to the draft were the Raiders had an offer out for Bowman, but his number was higher and the two sides weren't budging. The Johnson signing could mean the Raiders have decided to move on, or it could be intended on sending a message to Bowman. Bowman led the team in tackles last year with 89, despite spending just 10 games with the team. Johnson had 71 tackles in 15 games last year and has had 2 Achilles injuries in the past few years. At 35, Johnson is not an upgrade for Bowman, just perhaps the cheaper option. Last rumor I got coming up from the board, the Raiders. Are they going to release Donald Penn? This is another one straight from Chat Sports, your boy right here. I'm going to give this one 2 chalky heads. People are talking. So this is one of those that I think is pretty interesting just because Donald Penn's been a guy that we've been talking about for a while, and it appears that the Raiders' first-round pick in the 2018 NFL Draft may be responsible for protecting Derek Carr's blind side in 2018. According to ESPN's Paul Gutierrez, Kolton Miller has been working out exclusively on the left side of the Raiders' offensive line. This is what Jon Gruden had to say. We like Miller at left tackle. He can bend, he's got the length you're looking for, and he's a sharp kid. That doesn't mean that's where he's going to end up, though. This is interesting because Oakland has a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle in Donald Penn. It was believed that Miller would play right tackle, but perhaps with an aging Penn who will be 35 during the 2018 season, the Raiders may be planning for their future earlier than expected. Mitchell Renz here for Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports. Remember to like us on Facebook so you know exactly when I go live. And don't be afraid to throw me a follow on Twitter at MitchellRenz365.